Hello, I'm Beth. This video is designed to give you a bit of an immune boost as we move into the cold and flu season. So we'll be doing some poses that help us open up across the chest, enhance our breathing so that we can prepare ourselves to be healthy and hopefully to stay healthy. We'll start lying on our backs. Have your mat underneath you. Come to lying on your back with your knees bent. And once you get down, scooch your feet as close as possible to your bottom. And you might simply want to move your bottom a little closer to your feet. I like lifting up my hips and then just wiggling down a little bit so that I can get my bottom close to my feet and my feet as under my knees as possible to support me. From here, we're going to do a dynamic bridge. A lot of the movements in this practice will be dynamic. They'll be flowing. Hands out by your side. Arms pressed gently down into the mat to help support you. On an inhale, begin to scoop your tailbone, push into your feet, lift up only to the end of your inhale. And then as you exhale, let your lower ribs, your lower back, your hips settle back down to the ground. Continue with your breath. Inhale, scoop, pressing into your feet, push your knees a little bit away from you, only coming to the end of your inhale, so not your highest maximal bridge. And then as you exhale, rolling back down. A few more like this, allowing your own breath to fill your body, float you up, thinking of floating up like a balloon, and exhaling, setting back down. Each time you come up, feel the air start to fill, swell your belly, and maybe also up into your chest, all the way up into your upper lungs. And exhale, back down. You're trying to keep your legs relatively stable so your legs stay parallel to each other as the backs of your legs, the back of your butt, your glutes do all the work here. Exhale, come back down. Let's do maybe 3 more. Inhale, engage your back body. We're strengthening the back body as we stretch and open the front body. That's exactly what back bends do. And then 1 more, press into the feet, lift up, hold up for a moment, maybe coming to the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. Try to maintain that strong lower. Feel the breath as you breathe in, rise your front body. 1 more breath in, and then exhale, lower, back, down. All right, we'll roll over to the side, and we're going to roll right around into a child's pose. You can do any variation of child's that you like to start. You can have your knees closer together to support underneath your body or wider apart to give room for your body. I'm going to do somewhere in the middle. One thing I would suggest for this practice is to bend your arms and let there be a little space between your head and the mat, giving you more room to breathe. You can also use a block or a blanket under your forehead. This is a no prop practice, but feel free to grab your props. Okay, so we'll hinge from the hips, stretch out into child's pose, and I'm going to use my bent arms. You can also use hands on fists. Actually, I think I'll do this version. So hands on fists under the forehead or bent arms. And here I create a little space. So in child's pose, we often feel the breath in the back body. But I also want to be able to feel free, even breathing in the front. And then our dynamic movement here, I'll show you and then we can move together, is when we inhale, we're going to lift the body up, raise the arms up overhead so that you come long and upright. You can even do a little bit of a stretching your hip flexors forward to get more upright. And then when we exhale, we're going to hinge back, coming back down, coming to rest in our child's pose, and I think I'll probably do the cross arm version here. So that's the movement. We'll flow in and out a few times. Again, dynamic flow from one pose to the other. Come into your child's pose and take a breath in. Exhale that breath out. Next breath in, press into your knees, your shins. Start to raise your body up, filling your body with air as you grow long. And then exhale, hinge your body. Take support for your head as you come back into child's pose. Inhale, press into the parts of your body touching the ground as you lift the upper torso up toward the sky. And exhale, hinge, coming back down. Let the in-breath help float you up just like we did in bridge pose, breathing into your body, reaching up strong. Exhale, float back down. Let's do 2 more here. Inhale, lifts you up strong to the sky, all the way to the top of your inhale. Exhale, floats you back down to the mat. And then one last inhale. Breathing up tall, strong. Exhale, come back down. You can stay in child pose. Take a few breaths in your child's. And next, use your hands to help walk yourself in. And we are going to come all the way up to standing. Help yourself up to stand. Find a place on your mat where your feet are maybe just a little wider than hip width apart. You can have your toes turned out if you like. We're going to soften the knees. So not quite goddess pose where we're coming down into a squat, but just a little bit of a soft knees so that our base, our legs, our lower body feels really strong and stable. That's not going to move around as we move the upper body, move the torso. We're going to start with a little bit of a side-to-side twist, and you can let your arms reach into this twist. So notice how you revolve a little bit from side to side. That movement comes from the area of your belly button up, and most of the movement comes around these ribs. Now I'm doing it a little bit more rapidly just to show you. We can do it really slow. What we're going to do here is we're going to do this movement ongoing in a flow and add a little ha breath. So quick demo. We'll reach out with one hand to the side, ha, and then we'll breathe in through center, ha, in, ha, ha. So the ha is on the out breath. The out breath in a ha sound helps expel some of the air, and our air can get stale when we're into colder weather, when we have allergies. So we want to really let that air out. There's also a lot of research in yoga that proves that sounding is a little bit of a mood lifter, which we can often use when the days are colder. Okay, when you're ready, remember, breathe in through the center, ha, side to side. So we'll start with your right side. Take a natural breath in through the center, have a strong base, ha, ha, ha. If you prefer fist, you can use fist, ha, few more. Ha, 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 ha. One more each side. Ha, ha, ha. Hard to talk through that. And then just take a moment to feel what your body experiences after doing that energetic breath, that bit of a flow. You might feel a little tingly, you might feel a little breathless. Take this moment here, this is kind of a little brief recharge moment. All right, well, stay standing with this little bit of a wider leg. And we're going to take your right foot so that it faces toward me, so the short edge of the mat is parallel with your foot. Left foot turns all the way out to face the opposite short end of the mat. So we're in this kind of mini version of a warrior two or a side angle pose. And what we're going to do is a little bit between those two poses. Soften your left knee. So let that be soft over your ankle. We're going to reach the opposite arm overhead, the right arm. And already we're starting to create some space in our side ribs, allowing those intercostal muscles, the breathing muscles of the side ribs to really expand. In this posture, we're going to add a little bit of movement of the head and neck to help encouraging fluid moving around in our lymph nodes as well. All right, so on an in-breath, you'll keep the arm up overhead as you start to slide the left hand just over your knee and down, not far down and not forward or back, really right to the side. So only the degree that you can go, that you keep that stretch on the side. And we'll look down toward the bottom foot. And then on an inhale, we're going to turn the head up toward the top arm, reaching the arm a little bit back and away. So you engage the shoulder blade on the right, the back of the right arm. And then on an exhale, you take the arm so it's more over your shoulder and look back down at your foot. And if your arm gets tired, you can take it all the way down on the exhale. Inhale, reach the arm up and a little back as you turn to look toward it. And exhale, down. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, look down. 2 more times. Inhale, reach up and back. Maybe a little bit more opening of the chest up toward the upper arm. Exhale and down. And then last one. Inhale, turn the head, look toward your upper arm. Draw in more breath. Exhale, you can bring the top arm down, look down at your foot, push into your foot as you take yourself back upright, and we'll switch to the other side. So remember, I'm mirroring you. It's your left foot that faces toward me. It's parallel with your short edge of your mat. Your right foot turns out toward the opposite short edge. And this foot, your left foot, is maybe turned in a little bit toward the right. Then we soften the right knee. We have a strong, stable base. You'll notice the lower body did not move again. We're doing a lot of stability in the lower body as we stretch and strengthen the upper. So we start by hinging at the side. It's your right side that's really going to engage you to hinge over, and your left side that's going to lift toward the sky and stretch. Arm just slides down naturally. The goal is not to go far, is to get that stretch in the side body. Arm lifts up. All right, so we look down at the bottom foot. And on an inhale, we reach up and away. And on an exhale, we look down at the bottom foot, and you can also move your arm over your head if that feels okay. Inhale, reach up and a little bit back with that top arm. And exhale, you have the option to lower the arm as you look back down to your foot or reach it over your head. 3 more. Inhale, reach up and away. Exhale, look down toward your foot. Inhale, reach up and away. Exhale, look down toward your foot. And last one, inhale, reach up and away. Maybe a little bit more air, a little bit more twist. Exhale, you can bring the arm down as you look down to your foot. And straighten up that knee, draw up your torso. All right. I think we have one more standing move, and then we'll come back down to the floor to finish up. I'll turn sideways for this. I might turn around briefly front so that you can see. We're going to do a version of Warrior One pose. You'll see this sometimes in Vinyasa type classes where the emphasis is on the dynamic movement in and out, not any kind of depth of the pose. And really we're moving our arms into a cactus so we can stretch across the chest. So I'm not mirroring since I'm sideways now. Take your right foot a little forward, your left foot a little bit back, a little bit out to the side, then pointing out on a bit of a diagonal, maybe about a 45-degree angle or so. Enough so that your hips maybe go a little bit that direction, but your torso can remain in the direction of your front foot. And we'll be bending into the front foot, keeping our weight pretty even on both feet. So each time you bend into your right foot, bending the knee over the ankle, you're still pressing into the heel, pressing into the back foot. And then when we bend in, we'll be lifting our arms up into a cactus shape. One last little bit, when you lift your arms up, you might put your hands back this way, and that's just moving the wrists. It's not really moving the shoulders, which we're trying to move. So see if you can let that movement come from opening at the shoulder joint, at the shoulder blade, keeping your hands pretty even over your wrists. Okay, that's the goal. Let's try this together. Breathe in, bend into your front knee, lift your elbows up and away. And then exhale, bring your hands down, take your palms away and place your hands somewhere at the lower back, lower ribs, anywhere in this range. Inhale, open up. Elbows not only come up, but they reach away as your chest comes forward. And exhale, we rotate at the shoulder joint to place the hands behind us. Inhale, open up, and each one, maybe you have a little bit more openness to the chest, maybe it turns into a little mini back bend and lifts up a bit. Exhale, back down. We have 2 more of these. Inhale, reach forward, thinking about widening the chest, space for the breath. Exhale, straighten up, hands come to your back. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, hands come to your back, and for this last moment, take your hands so that they're right around the lower ribs, and see if you can breathe into the backs of your hands. So rather than take a back bend here, let your body be upright. Feel as you take your breath in, you use the muscles, the breathing muscles in your back body to breathe in, not just your front. Okay, and then you can release the arms and we'll do the other side. So remember, the back foot is faced a little bit out on an angle. The right foot is a little forward, maybe about 1.5 feet, 2 feet, and you may need to adjust front back, and also you might need a wider base side to side to feel more secure. So take the time to set that up that you feel really secure. Remember that we'll be bending to the front leg. You can bend and straighten a few times. Let your body know what that movement is going to look like and how it feels. All right, I think we did about 5 on the first side, so we'll do about 5 on this side. As you're ready, breathe in, bend the front knee, open across the arms. Remember that width and trying to keep the wrists over the lower arms, the forearms. Exhale, hands come somewhere on your back. Inhale, widening the chest, widening across the collarbones. Exhale, straightening up. Inhale, continue to press weight into the back foot even as you shift and the front knee bends. Exhale, 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. And then last one. Inhale. Inhale, a little bit more width, maybe a little bit more of a back bend. And exhale, hands come as close to your lower ribs as you can get them. And take a few moments to feel the breath in your back body here. Each time you breathe in, feeling that gentle push of your lungs on the back body toward your hands. Okay, you can let go of your arms, step your feet together, and we're coming down to the floor. So we'll do one little reverse table move. This is another back bend. This can be challenging for hands, wrists, and shoulders. So I'll show you an alternative first if what I do second doesn't feel good in your body. This is a great way to do the same thing. You reach your arms a little out behind you. Your body starts to lean back. Fingertips can be pointing away from each other or toward the back. Take a moment to see where it's comfortable with the shoulders. They can also point toward you. I kind of like them splitting the difference, halfway, pointing away. And then you press into your hands, you lift up your chest, and again, we seek that upper back bend by drawing the shoulder blades together, letting everything widen in the area of the collarbones and the chest, so that part lifts toward the sky, but also feels like it's lifting out wide. And then take a in-breath here, filling that air with as much space, holding as we exhale. One more breath in, and then releasing. So you can repeat that if that worked really well for you. I always say go with what works. If you want to try a different shape, you can place your hands in the same position, but this time bend your knees.
take your feet in close to you, just like we did when we were on the back in bridge pose. We try to get our feet as much under us as possible. We also try again to keep them about hip width and not to let them flop out so that our legs can really energetically support us here. And this is reverse table. So as we breathe in, we push into our feet and push into our hands. You can feel the upper body has to work a little bit more. Now you can be hammock pose, that works too. Or push into everything on the back, engage the glutes, engage the hamstrings, so that you can get your body up as much as possible into a table-like shape. And just like we did in the other variation, once you find that shape, you let the breath fully come in. You exhale and stay. Take another breath in. And then exhale. Start to release. Okay, turn around toward me. One last pose, and then we'll finish with a little bit of breath work. So for this last pose, take your feet first into a little butterfly, Baddha Konasana, bound angle shape. And then take your left foot and start moving it in closer to your groin and a little bit out to the right so that the left knee faces more toward me. The right foot you'll gently help over the left, so that you're in this little cross-legged position. Now, this shape does not work for everyone. Some of us have more stuff going on in the front and it's not comfortable. There's an easy way to get around that, and that is simply by straightening the bottom leg. Straightening the bottom leg, notice you're still in the same basic shape. We're gonna do a twist here so you'll still get the same twist. I'm gonna do this variation today because I really like it and don't show it as often on my videos, so I'll do this one today. Either variation, leg out straight or bent, you want to use your hands gently on the front shin to help lift you a little upright. We tend to slouch in this position, so get a little bit more upright, and you'll see them wiggling on those hips, wiggling on the sits bones, so you can try to make both the left and the right touch relatively equally. Now, most of the time you're going to have more weight on this side, on your left side, and the right is going to feel like it's sort of leaning. That's okay. We just wiggle around until we feel relatively even. As we've been doing the whole practice, we breathe in to get breath through the torso. And then on the exhale, you can use your left arm to hold around your leg as you start spinning off to your right. Remember that spin from the belly button up through the area of the rib cage. And the right hand can come behind you anywhere as a kickstand. Just sort of a little bit of rest on the back hand. Now, if your arms are shorter than mine and don't comfortably reach the floor, this is a great place to rest the hand on the block. If you have a wall here, rest the hand on the wall. So props are something that helps us adapt to different body types that we bring to our practice. They're really important to use. One more breath here. Breathe in tall into this pose. As you exhale, explore any more wiggle room, any more space in the twist. That might be a tiny millimeter here or there. And then next breath in, unwind back to front. We'll bring the legs back to that bound ankle shape. You might want to do a little flop out. And this time it's your right leg that comes in first, and allow it to come a little out to the side of your opposite hip so that knee points more to the front. Gently help your other leg on top, and you'll probably need to move your hips around. Remember, right away you can take this bottom leg out if already you feel like this is way too leany, and you can also uncross this leg if you have the bottom leg straight. It's another option. All of the same, a little bit different effect on your hips, but pretty much same on the torso, the upper body, and that's really what we're trying to target in today's practice. So remember, we start with allowing yourselves to come a little upright. Breathing in to make space in our twist, or make room before we even start to twist. As you exhale, you can hold lightly with your right arm on your shin. Left arm can come behind you as you start to spin around your thoracic spine, around your torso. And even as you spin, you want to let both hips stay heavy on the floor. So that left hip might want to start leaning up. Let it stay heavy. If your legs feel comfortable in this position, but with your upper body, there's stuff that's bumping into your thigh, you don't feel like you have enough room, a little bit of a backward lean, a shifting around the flesh that's there can create more room and more space to help you find that twist. We are really trying to create space. When we're trying to give our immune system a little boost and have healthy breathing, we are trying to create space. Let's do that one more full breath to create space. Breathe in, find that space. Exhale, find any more room to twist. And then next inhale, spin back around. Okay, you can unwind your legs, and for this last bit, you can sit in any comfortable position. So that means you can stay in our cobbler's pose, our bound angle. You can sit in Sukhasana, some version of easy pose with your legs crossed a little, or a lot, or a little. Or you can come and sit on your ankles in a hero's pose if that's comfortable for your knees. Sometimes I like sitting in this for breath work because it just helps me feel a little bit more upright. I'm going to end with a little breath work to help balance our breathing. This is called alternate nostril breathing, and we're going to do it in 2 ways. So when we do alternate nostril breathing, the idea is that all day long, we naturally switch from being dominant in one nostril to dominant in the other without realizing it at all. In this exercise, or this breath control exercise, we're mindfully drawing our attention to how we're breathing. And we're allowing that attention to focus on our nostril, again, with the idea being that our nostrils are connected to the opposite sides of our brain. So left nostril connected to right brain, which is sent to foster more relaxation. By doing both, we're also trying to foster some balance. So hands in lap, because the way we're going to do this first is a no hands version. So it's often shown with hands. We're going to do a no hands version. And because left and right matters a little more here, in fact, I'll turn to the side because I'll turn a little diagonal because I'm not going to mirror you for this one. So with your hands in your lap or resting by your sides, take a couple of breaths in at your normal breath pace through both nostrils. And then on your next in-breath, you're going to concentrate on taking the air in through your left nostril. And then focus on breathing out through your right. Then we'll do the opposite. Breathe back in through your right. And out through your left. And we'll keep doing that little pattern in through the left. Out through the right. In through the right, and out through the left. And continue in left, out right. And of course you notice you'll probably be breathing through both nostrils to some degree. In right, out left. Again, in left, out right. You may also be faster or slower than me. That's completely normal. In right, out left. One more time, hands 3, in through the left, out through the right, or focusing on the right. Focus the breath in through the right, and out through the left. Continue hands 3, or this time add a gentle closing of your right nostril with your left thumb as you breathe in through the left. Then use your ring finger to close the outside of your left as you breathe out through the right. Breathe right back in through the right. Use your thumb to gently close the outside of your right nostril and out through your left. We'll continue like this. In, left. Close, out, right. In right, out left, in left, out right. Remembering you can always switch back to the hands-free version. In right, close, out left. 2 more rounds. In through the left. Close left with a ring finger and breathe out through the right. In right. Close, breathe out through the left. In through the left. Out through the right. In through the right.
close out through the left. And then lower your hands. We take a few moments to observe. It's really important in a mindful yoga practice to take a little bit of time to observe and notice what the effects of our practice are. That's where we go beyond simply the asana or the physical practice of yoga and really try to strongly connect the mind body, have it be a whole experience of mind body well-being. So I hope you enjoyed this practice today. I hope that maybe you feel a little refreshed. It helps you go into this season feeling a little bit more prepared to be healthy. If you like this video, give me a like, comment, and tell me what you liked, what you'd like to see more of. You can check out some of my other videos here. And I love to talk to you. I love to hear from you. So again, please do comment, subscribe to my channel so I know that you're following me and want to see more from me. Enjoy the rest of your day.